supplement, shall I go on vitamin D, zinc, different vitamins? Yes, no, we're gonna see that. Quick tips on how to buy food during COVID. هلا الحمد لله we're out of the lockdown يعني period, but at least we have to keep in mind that maybe it's going to happen again. So what to do? What are healthy meals and snacks? And in case we want to eat outside, what to do and how to pick. Okay. I'm going to start by introducing healthy food, healthy food choices. When we speak about healthy diet, we mean balanced diet is a diet where it provides all essential nutrients in sufficient quantities to meet our need. Okay, in an adequate and في adequacy وفي balance. هذا الحكي بالنسبة لإلي it might be okay common sense. To simplify it for you guys, what we mean is that we need to eat different foods. Like always, imagine we speak about the rainbow. So imagine the rainbow. It has different colors. So our plate should always look as a rainbow. Unfortunately, بالمediterranean or Middle Eastern culture, or the Jordanian culture in specific, we usually find that our plate usually tends to go to the brownish beige colors, okay, with a bit of green. Mansaf, white rice with yogurt, meat, and شوية بصل أخضر أو جرجير أو بقدونس, okay, with a bit of nuts. What we need to do is that we have a lot of traditional dishes. There are amazing value in our dishes, but unfortunately, things are changing and the style of life, dynamics of life have changed. And we need to adapt the changes to maintain health. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, most people used to work till 2. Now you're lucky if you finish by 6. So what are we doing? Are we eating or are we not? And we need to consider also the balance, is that what we mean by essential nutrients is that I'm eating sufficient different foods that will supply me with the essential nutrients اللي هم carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and one of the most important nutrients is water. Okay, a lot of fat diets, okay, and keto, intermittent fast, Atkins, high carb, low carb, gluten free, يعني كتير شغلات بنسمع عنها وبيصير لها a lot of marketing where things are we like sometimes we stop and we start doubting ourselves, like what's going on? Why are people following keto? And you would find them that okay, they're happy and they follow keto because they're finding results, but the results are happening because they're limiting one food group or a nutrient. For example, they're limiting carbs, and it's the most important nutrient that our body needs. Hopefully today we're going to cover quickly how to maintain a balanced and healthy eating, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is Canada's food guide, and that was released 2 years ago. And me as a dietitian, I get goosebumps when I talk about Canada's food guide, because finally it's one of the best guides ever that you can find. The American Dietetic Association, or the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, used to use My Plate, and if you Google My Plate, you will find something similar. But finally, the Canadians, before that we had the rainbow. It was more of a rainbow-shaped food guide, but it didn't make sense. Finally, and me as a dietitian looking at that, it makes sense that I'm visualizing the plate, and if you can see foods. It's emphasizing the importance of having half of your plate as fruits and vegetables, and 1/4 that comes from protein foods, and the other 1/4 to choose whole grain foods. Okay, fruits and vegetables, one of the دايما abbreviations أو بحب دايما الناس تفكر فيها. I always ask my clients, my students, to think of one of the most important things عندنا بالpandemic was having 4G. إذا قطعت الكهرباء, we'd go crazy asking for, oh my God, we need to have 4G. إذا ما عندي البلان تبعتي doesn't cover, بصير في disaster بالبيت. دايما فكروا بال 3G. Okay, 3G, if you consider the 3G and you consider Canada's the plate, okay, visualize the plate and the 3G. That you consider the foods too. The first G is to glow, to grow, and to go. Okay, so those are the 3 G's بالنسبة لإلي كدانا. To glow اللي هي عم نحكي عن fruits and vegetables اللي هي this is going to give you النضارة, vitality, the feeling healthy, it's going to give you the energy to go. The go are carbs and fats. But it's really important to have them in our diet. So if I want to go keto, it means لا, I'm limiting carbs. If I want to go, for example, لا أنا بدي أروح مثلا one of the other fat diets, as long as it limits one of the food groups, try to avoid that. Focus on protein foods and proper hydration. Hydration is one of the most important things, اللي هي water, and it should come from water. And we're really short, يعني a lot of people don't do that. Consider we eat food, from foods we get the nutrients, and by having the nutrients, this is what's going to help us maintain our health and prevent disease. Okay, and during COVID-19, it's been one of the things, the most important things, if I have a good health, then it means that I'll be able to prevent the disease. If not prevent the disease, at least I'll have my immune system is going to be able to fight the disease. Okay, so having a healthy, balanced diet, meaning that I'm eating a varied food, I'm having the food plate, the variety, the colors, the different kinds of proteins, the different kinds of healthy fats. Okay, this is gonna ensure that I will keep an immune system, a healthy immune system that's gonna fight the germs and fight the illness. Some studies said, okay, it might not be, it's not clear, but at least the duration of the sickness can be lessened when you're eating healthy. Okay. This is a very interesting study. Okay, it was published this year. If you want, I can share it with you. And I took permission from the publisher to use this illustration. Okay, I hope it's clear. It's showing at the top, it says the poor dietary habits started increasing. زي ما عيسى, he mentioned that starting since the pandemic or the lockdown or March started, he gained 7 kilos, okay? And we've seen that with like a lot of people. Why? Because we started, like, physical activity declined, okay? And we started, we're stressed, so we need to comfort eat, okay? And then we lost track of the regular rhythm تبع اليوم. كنا نصحى بكير, we would go to work, we drive the kids, we have to pick, then we come back home. For the regular schedule, we've lost that. كأنه خلاص we're locked down. We were locked down for, like most people were locked down for 70 days. Okay, so I disturbed the whole schedule. Imagine usually in Ramadan or during Lent, when people fast, they feel that they are off track for 30 days or 40 days. How come 70 days we were locked? Plus the constant fear or uncertainty. So it hits, okay, higher cortisol level, stress, because we're stressed. So comfort food, how can I relieve the stress? Instead of exercising, people tended to go to, okay, it was really evident on social media, and it was really funny to see. Suddenly you would speak to someone, okay, شو عاملين اليوم? Everyone's doing donuts, everyone's doing bread, everyone is baking. مين عمل عوامة? During Ramadan, okay, delicacies تبعت Ramadan that it wasn't available to us, الطايف والديزرتس والجمعات تبعت Ramadan, we had to make up for that by eating. What happens that starting with the lockdown, when it started extreme, if you see on the illustration, it's extreme left, habits started to change, less exercise, less sleeping, more snacking, more comfort eating. For us to feel the comfort, our brain seeks 3 essential things. Do you know them? Does anyone know what are the 3 things that trigger us to, they will satisfy our brain? It's either, it's salt, fat, and sugar. With salt, fat, and sugar, بنلاقي salt and fat is in the chips والpretzels كل هاي الشغلات, the quick snacks, or chocolates and candies or dessert. Plus طبعا if someone is drinking, بطل في moderation يمكن للdrinking, will effect of alcohol on the absorption of nutrients. Already the quality of the food was really not optimum, plus because we were always worried, the constant worry. I was like, can I go out? Will I be able to buy? No, I'm gonna go buy, but can I really transfer the stuff? Because I have to carry it. So I really need to consider the essentials of what to get. هلا كل هذا الإفكت, science has proven that the way we eat will affect our microbiota, which is the bacteria that is in our gut. Okay, so when you eat healthy, you're providing the proper food for the good bacteria to flourish and protect you and boost your immune system. But when you stop eating healthy, stop exercising, the balance of the good bacteria shifts and we start eating less healthy. Okay, I'm keeping track of the time كمان يا عيسى. هلا healthy eating, one of the most, during the pandemic we need to maintain our routine. I know it's hard, أنا okay لا خليني سهران, I don't have to work. لا, we need to maintain the healthy routine of waking up, having sufficient amount of sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours. For kids, we're talking about, depending on the age of the kid, but from 10 to 14 hours. Primary, let's say primary students, primary grade students will need to have around 10 hours. Younger kids, they would go for 10 to 14 hours, depending on الhabits تبعت الchild. And you need to maintain a regular hours of eating, which is okay, maintain breakfast, maintain lunch, maintain dinner. This applies to everyone, to us as adults and to kids. And one of the most important things اللي هي elderly, we need to consider the elderly. إذا في حدا عنا بالعيلة, تيتا, جدو, our parents who are alone and no one is taking care of them, they are like a group of the population that we really need to consider taking care of them during the pandemic and making sure that they are having enough nutrition or food supply in the house, because they can't leave the house. And it's خلينا نقول we wouldn't recommend هلا with the amount of cases rising in Jordan. هلا to give you ideas of snacks, okay, هلا to have a meal, as we said, try to visualize the plate. Always half of your plate should be grains, and then 1/4 protein, 1/4 carb. هلا snacks should make up for the what's missing from our food groups. So if I had a salad for lunch, then I would go with a fruit and nuts. Okay, and when it comes to nuts and seeds, اللي هي عم نحكي مثلا زي sunflower seeds, almonds, walnuts, we're talking about raw nuts. Okay, if it's with the shell, it's better because it's going to give you added fiber. ما بدنا, we don't want the smoked salted يعني بنروح على بنس حيمان او بنروح على محمص شاهين بس نجيب الشغلات اللي خليها هلا بيروجوا لها انها the healthy ones, but though you have to pay attention from some of the mixes that they provide, because a lot of the dried fruits, most of the mixes, they have the small cubes of dried fruits that have a lot of added sugar to it. So it's better for you to prepare your mix. For example, you would mix almonds, have a handful of almonds, a handful of sunflower seeds with raisins. You can chop dried apricots. If you do it at home, it would be better. Okay. You can have lower fat yogurt with a fruit and nuts. Hey, you're going to complement the snack, and it's better even when it comes to regulating the blood sugar, and it's going to keep you to maintain feeling full instead of just having a fruit. Having a fruit alone, a lot of people say, if I eat an apple alone, I'm going to feel hungry. Okay, I would tell you, okay, have an apple plus nuts, or have an apple مع شنينة, have a yogurt with fruit and nuts. Oh, if you're not a fan, for example, the style of work, you can't be chewing food a lot, just blenderize it, prepare a smoothie. A lot of the tips that also we can apply, we're gonna, for example, we buy bananas. Okay, bananas are starting to ripen. شو أعمل فيهم? What am I supposed to do? Just chop the bananas, put them in the freezer, because it's gonna be a quick idea for you to go for a snack. Just I'll take the frozen bananas with a bit of yogurt, you'll mix it up with frozen strawberries, and you're gonna have a handful of nuts, and you're going to have a great snack. That's filling, plus it's going to maintain that you're having also some hydration. Okay. Sorry, it's not.
3 minutes left.
Okay.
Good?
Yes. Staying active is really important because it's really essential to boost the immunity, to prevent us from gaining weight, and it's going to reduce the stress and anxiety. And this is a tip for the parents with kids. Even حتى إذا عيسى newlywed, you exercise as a family. Try to go for outdoor walks, exercise and play. يعني challenge the kids also. For example, who can do 10 jumps? يعني instead of plugging the routine, I was like, okay, you have to go exercise. No, I was like, okay, you know what? Who can do مثلا 50 jumping jacks? Who can jump rope for example, a minute? So add fun to it. And if you do this as a family, it's going to be really, really more productive instead of it's going to stress you and stress the kids too. Now, when it comes to supplementation, can vitamins boost our immunity? There's a lot of studies. One of the most important things, or important studies اللي صار عليها إنه it is telling us yes, they can, but because some studies were done on elderly. What we need to do is like, okay, we can have it, but we can't overdo it. I would recommend that if you have a balanced diet, you might not need to go for supplementation. If you hydrate well, and if you follow Canada's food guide, for example, or eating healthy, the guidelines of at least I would have 2 fruits a day, 5 veggies, and do not consume a lot of sugar, okay? If you have a lot of sugar, then you're not going to be eating from the other foods. Then if your diet is healthy, then there might not be a need, not unless, for example, you have a deficiency and it was recommended by your physician that you have to supplement, okay? Hey, I'll be exactly 40 seconds. Okay.
Perfect. Are you done?
Yes. But if you have يعني أنا هيك لأنه أعصابي.
طيب perfect ممتاز. Thank you very much. If you ما بعرف أغلبكم مش حاط فيديو فمش عارف مين بده يسأل. I can start with a question. What if if the rest can go put their videos on so I can have an idea إذا حدا بده يسأل. Or simply أو just simply when I do so just kick in إذا أنا مش شايفك أو شايفك. So we've got probably 15 minutes of questions.
Yes.
I'll start with I was very intrigued with the figure that you put. Oh, Shifa, thank you very much for the lovely talk, Dana, and for your time.
Thank you.
It is much needed in this time and always actually, but specifically in this. الفكرة اللي حطيتيها تبعت اللوك داون يعني this is as fresh as it gets. The end product was dysbiosis or issues with the bacterial exact change in the gut microbiota.
Yes.
That brings me to probiotics. And we've talked about probiotics a lot.
Exactly.
At least in labs or GI doctors.
Yes.
They are being prescribed, but I feel that it's somehow a random process. يعني بقول لك خد probiotics. روح على الصيدلية بلاقي probiotic, bacterial probiotics, بلاقي yeast probiotics, بلاقي is there a certain way to go? How to go about probiotics? Is it really a random خد أي شيء وانتهينا ولا you have recommendations that are more specific?
Okay, according يعني one of the most important things اللي هي احنا a lot of people would go and they would just do يعني supplements shopping. Okay, حكوا لي عن هيك I'll buy this. I heard it's good. أو محمد قالت it's good. No. When it comes to probiotics, yes, it is recommended, but برضو it depends on the situation. Who's going to decide that? It's your GI doctor, okay? Your doctor would decide on that. But it's really important to consider that if I eat healthy, يعني probiotics are the mostly lactobacillus اللي هي موجودة what we can find in yogurt, okay? And if I have some fermented cheese, we're talking about هون بيجي the importance of when I pick the food, I need to look at the label. Unfortunately, a lot of parents or people think that if I have cream cheese, it means that I'm having cheese. You're not having cheese, you're having cream, which is mostly fat. You're not having the benefit of cheese. وبصيروا كتير خايفين من بقول لك oh my god I'm on a diet I'm not gonna have Swiss or cheddar or Emmental or okay the fermented cheeses. Those are amazing sources of calcium, vitamin D and probiotics. The different types of cheese are made because they have different cultures in them that produce, for example, the Edam or the Swiss. So it's nice to add variety. Having a probiotic, I would recommend that you need to consult with your physician before. Plus, don't forget, if you provide the prebiotics are simply fruits and vegetables. If I eat fruits and vegetables, then I'm providing the prebiotics. I'm providing the food for the bacteria in my gut to eat and consume, and then it's gonna flourish in a healthy way, because we always need to maintain the balance of the different microbes اللي موجودين in the gut.
Nice, thank you for that. Bashar, تفضل.
I have a technical question. Well, thank you very much for your talk. It was very educational.
Thank you, Bashar.
Really appreciate it. Just a technical terminology, in terms of terminology, is there a difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist, or is it just Eastern Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere sort of thing?
لا. Okay. A dietitian and a nutritionist. Okay. To be a dietitian who graduated from McGill, you have to really, we had to study an extra year and a half. Okay. It was almost a 5-year program. Okay. And when you're a nutritionist, you work mostly in public health and community health. Okay. You don't go through the you don't go through the clinical part of nutrition. You don't go through food service system management. If it comes to, if I'm gonna give the definition, a dietitian is a protected title. So you have to be a member of a dietitian, a body that will ensure that you pay the fees to maintain a designation. Plus requirements to graduate as a dietitian, you have to go through the process. I was lucky to graduate from McGill because McGill incorporated the training throughout our years. So we finished the first year of practice. We had to work in one of the hospitals. Then after the second year, to meet the competencies of Dietitians of Canada. So we couldn't move from one year to another, not unless we met the competencies of Dietitians of Canada to give us the okay. And Dana has all the qualifications and the skill to go to year 2. Okay, so it was more of a, McGill, the situation was more of a year-by-year study. And you can't skip a term, to do something. But برضو in the States, it's really regulated. So it's more regulated. Being a nutritionist, it's less years of study, and it's not a regulated title. وعندنا مثلا للأسف مثلا بمجتمعاتنا العربية مثلا دبي عم تعمل regulation. بالأردن, it's sad to say, but so far we have like 2 or 3 bodies that they refer to them as the group of جمعية أخصائية التغذية, which is sad لأنه مش عم نجتمع لأنه تقلب لأمور شخصية instead of working as a proper organization. I'm lucky to stay in touch, and I'm still in touch with McGill, with the Dietitians of Canada, and I've been holding the position of being the country representative for the American Dietetic Association. Had the old name, now it's called the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics.
Interesting. Well, very enlightening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dana, unfortunately, even in labs, we have a similar problem. Dana, there's always more than one institution that claims to be representing that specific category, and none of them has the proper regulatory ability. I hope that one day you'll manage to have one society that encompasses all, differentiates nutritionists from dietitians, maintain their rights to their responsibilities, وتكونوا tied مع Ministry of Health in a proper way.
Exactly.
حدا تاني عنده أي سؤال؟ Please, أنا مش شايف الفيديوز, just unmute yourself and head in if you have a question. هنادي تفضلي.
Hi Dana.
Hi حبيبتي.
Thank you كتير على التوك.
حبيبتي anytime.
حياتي. شوفي أنا every year بعمل دايت. وبرجع نفس الوزن ولا كأني عملت إشي. بروح 6 أشهر بعمل هالدايت بيجي الست اشهر التانيين برجعهم.
Yeah.
I don't know. انت قلتي على life changing life style وكل شيء بس it's a challenge دانا. very tiring especially that I have small kids. فكتير تايرنج والكانديز حواليكي والشيبس بينك تعيسة الشيبس عم بلوح لها فيها.
ما شفتها مركزة أنا هون. صحتين.
فايش اعمل؟
Okay. هلا you see you mentioned a very important point. هلا sadly a lot of people اللي بيصير انه you visit a dietitian او nutritionist. هون بعمان عنا we use both. يعني I always educate my clients. I was like guys please I'm a dietitian و there's a difference. عنا بتتخرج بنت امبارح وبتسمي حالها dietitian. انه مش عارفة what did we have to go through to get the title. We always focus. للأسف اللي بيصير إنه أنت when you wanna go on a diet بتلاقي كتير ناس بيصفوا إنه they take the decision I'm gonna go on a diet. أوكي رح أبطل أكل رح أبطل أعمل رح مع إنه في كتير مغريات بالبيت موجودة من chips وكانديز وهيك لأنه زي ما حكيتي you need to adapt with the population اللي عندك بالبيت. Whether I have kids يمكن kids they're not gonna stick to فطور غدا عشاء بس it's gonna be more فطور snack غدا snack. Okay, فهذا how can I adapt to that? Okay, بنفس الوقت the stress that you put on yourself because you commit بالpurpose إنه I'm gonna do a diet for 6 months بعدين خلص رح أترك. هلا but if you take it more of lifestyle modification where you start gradual changes إنه okay a lot of people تلاقيهم as soon as they mention diet they always like لازم أروح أشترك بالجيم. فبيصفي عندي ستريس الدايت بلس ستريس الجيم دفعت ممبرشيب ما عم بروح او ماي جاد راح علي اول شهر. شوفي السبكونشسلي قد ايه عم بيصير عندك ستريس وانت you're stressing yourself. والستريس احنا عم نحكي it's one of the really important factors لانه انت عم بتاثري على النورمال levels of hormones اللي موجودين بجسمك واحنا we're trying to de-stress. Okay, the most important thing to do is think of you. I always tell my clients, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Okay, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Okay, I'm 40. Where do I see myself when I'm 50? Am I going to be on يعني medical مثلا support إنه okay I have hypertension عندنا cardiovascular disease history بالبيت في يعني I consider all these things but then I was like no I want to be healthy. Okay, so I want to be healthy. I'll go back. I'll take a step back. And okay, do I want to be there for my kids? And do I want to enjoy being a grandma, inshallah, one day? Yes. I want to maintain, I need to take care of my health now. Okay. Start focusing on being healthy instead of losing weight. But you have the option. You're the one who's in control when you go buy the stuff. Okay. Even during the pandemic, you were on the application of whether picking مثلا dried fruits. Okay. ولا أطلب chips. Or chocolates. But what you do, it's gradual change. وصدقيني, when you do that, it's gonna be part of your kids' lifestyle. يعني احنا كلنا بنغير بعاداتنا بس in my house يعني بحمد الله إنه me and my husband we're really aware of that. We never say oh we're going on a diet. I was like we're eating healthy, we're exercising to stay healthy, we're eating to maintain our health. Because I've seen a lot of examples where kids as young as 3, especially نطلع على خلينا نقول شوية we'll go with the gender of being a female, they look at themselves, they're mimicking their moms. Okay, بتلاقي بنوتة صغيرة 3 سنين which is the proportion of her body بده يكون في كروش صغير. Okay, because she's a child راسها أكبر في كروش بطن هذا إمتى بيروح لتبلش يعني لسه تطول أكتر. تلاقيها بدي أعمل دايت ليه؟ لأنه سمعت ماما بتحكي هيك. So we need to focus on change to be healthy. And صدقيني, when you take gradual changes, the drop in weight is going to happen gradually. هلا مثلا عيسى حكى زاد 7 كيلو لأنه أكيد level of stress بكفي كنت عم بعرفش كيف كنت تحضر stress of preparing مثلا for your marriage, okay, and your wedding. It's really stressful. It's a huge change with a lot of يعني uncertainties إنه حجزنا ما حجزنا هذا كله بيأثر. فأنتي فكري بالموضوع إنه okay how can I start now, okay, and consider, do you eat breakfast, do you have lunch, okay, when do you snack, why do I snack, and ask yourself why. Diamond, I always ask my clients, I was like okay when you want to eat please ask yourself why. why? Because I'm hungry. عن جد I'm hungry. ولا I'm emotionally hungry. ولا because I'm bored. Or oh my God, I just received an email وكتير مضغوطة بالشغل ومو ملحقة. ولا إنه why? Okay. هلا ask yourself why. I'm hungry. Okay. طب السؤال الثاني, when did I eat? إذا أنا أفطرت قبل نص ساعة وهلأ جوعانة, okay, هون برجع I investigate more. I was like, طب what did I eat? So why, when, and what? So if I had a healthy, balanced breakfast, I'm not going to be hungry. Or if I'm having a cue of hunger, then it's not real hunger. لأنه I had my veggies and I had my protein. مثلا أكلت بيضة مع خبزة وأكلت معها مثلا بندورة وخيار. Okay? So I'm not really hungry. I'm emotionally or stressed hungry. Okay, what can I do instead of eating? Okay, شو رأيك خليني I'm gonna go for a walk أو بدي أنط حبلة إذا بالبيت إذا ما بقدر أطلع برا البيت أو بدي مثلا ابني معصبني أوكي يعني في كتير triggers. ف by asking these questions you'll be able to identify the triggers اللي عم بتخليك تروحي لهاي الشغلة why you're overeating because you're gaining weight because you're having more calories. So it means okay, how can I limit the calories? Okay, or maybe I'm not that active. So how can let's associate مثلا eat instead of eating, you know, كل ما بدي أعصب بدي أصير أنط لي حبلة إذا بعرف أنط حبلة أو إنه مثلا بعمل jumping jacks. فأi'll add وبعدين addition of exercise should be like started with 1 minute or 2 minutes. A lot of people aim high and then they don't commit.
Thanks.
Okay. We'll focus on water if you're hydrating or not, if you're having enough water or not. One of the like quick tips for you and for parents to pay attention to the kids is just look at the color of your pee. It should be like light yellow. يعني barely هيك زي يعني العفو زي كأنك عصرتي ليمونة. It's the color of the lemon juice or a bit lighter. It means that okay, you're well hydrated. بس انتبهوا when you take some supplements. Sometimes it might change the color of the pee to orangey or greenish depending on the supplement.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
The idea of asking yourself why you're snacking, it never occurred to me, but I think it's a very important point, and it's a question that can bring a lot of unexpected answers.
Exactly.
That ultimately help lose weight. في أي حدا تاني عنده أسئلة? Anyone, please kick in, unmute and go in. Because I have a question. If no one kicks in. Right. حكيتي eat at regular hours, and dietitians use that sentence a lot. In my opinion, it's easier said than done. So يعني مرات الواحد بفيق جوعان بده يفطر بفطر، مرات بتفيق آخر شيء بتعمليه بالحياة إنك تحط لقمة أكل بتمك, and so on for the other meals. So how do you suggest that we manage to eat at regular times? Give us some.
Okay. One of the most important thing, there is no, let's say, there is no answer that fits all. Okay, because we've seen it that some people can't survive without having breakfast. Okay, some would go long hours and the first meal would be at 12. Okay, some would have to have maybe 2 to 3 breakfasts to eat. But it depends on the person and your lifestyle. Regularity أحيانا sometimes when it comes to work can if we're يعني during weekdays, that's why when I sit with my clients and I was like ask them, oh, can you give me an example of a weekday and a weekend? Then we see the huge change. Regularity بتصفي بدها planning. And to maintain the regularity you need to plan ahead. But if you know that, for example, you might wake up and you don't have the time, إذا رح أفتح الثلاجة and there is nothing to eat, then I'll end up leaving the house with nothing to eat. But on the way, maybe I'll pass by a drive-through place where I can pick up quick breakfast, أو تحت بالشغل في محل الفلافل بعمل إشي. فهي دايما it goes with planning. You need to plan. For example, okay, ما بطيق أفطر, but maybe it doesn't mean having مثلا a meal at that time. Have breakfast. If you know that, for example, 2 hours after waking up, you're gonna start feeling lightheaded أو angry أو بتحس حالك كمان شوي ممكن تفقع بحدا من اللي قاعدين معك. هدول كلهم it's signs, different signs of okay, my blood sugar is going down. Okay, and I'm hangry. Okay, it's the term hangry, where I'm becoming angry because I'm hungry. Okay, so irregularity, it depends on you. فأنت you fit what يعني the answer would be you know your schedule, and you try to fit what fits you. بس احنا بنقول try to maintain regularity لأنه ما بدنا. A lot of people would start skipping meals. Okay, بعد فترة like 72 hours of skipping meal, am I gonna go through starvation? بعدين I'm gonna eat, because if there's no system, then it might lead to gaining more fat because my body's really scared. Okay, Isa's not feeding me, so I'm not having the sufficient intake of calories per day. Then one day I'll eat. So, oh my God, he fed me on day 4. Then that means, okay, let me, instead of using the energy to use it for the body, I'm going to store it as fat because he's going to starve me in a couple of days. But that's why home BG, the role of regularity to maintain. And don't forget that one of the major parts of when we calculate the energy needs is we call the thermic effect of food. Guys, when we eat, it helps us burn more calories. So eat to burn, but pick the right foods to stay healthy.
Thank you, Dana. And it's always counterintuitive لأن نفكر إنه الأكل بيحرق calories. It takes time to sink in. أي حدا بحب يسأل أسئلة please unmute, go in. حدا بحب يسأل دانا أي سؤال؟
مرحبا. شكرا دانا. This is Iyas. سامعني؟
أهلا إياس. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, very good stuff. هلا أنا I have a different frame of thinking. ويمكن لعيسى ولإلنا. This is a very important topic. I was thinking, did we promote it outside the McGill circle? لأنه I think this is يعني vast. It touches the whole society. And I think, we once said, as McGillians, we owe it to the society to share such knowledge and expertise with them. So that's one thing, maybe, if not for this speech, for others as appropriate and as we see fit. And the second, I see it's being recorded, right? So
مين عم بيعمل ريكورد؟ حدا ساعدني اعمل ريكوردينج انه انا من عندي الكمبيوتر تبعي ما في سبيس هارد ديسك.
And I saw it's being recorded.
I'm recording. I'm recording.
That's good. So it is, so it is being recorded.
Okay.
And if it's being recorded, maybe, and we can put it on our Facebook page, so whoever couldn't will be able to do that. And in the process, by more and more participation and wonderful stuff like that, as we build sort of a knowledge and track record. So these are my takes, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Iyas.
Absolutely, thank you, Iyas. في حدا تاني بحب يعلق تعليق أو يسأل دانا سؤال؟ Okay. Can I go with a final question? معلش دائما having a dietitian is always tempting to ask. One last question. I close with that. Alcohol.
Yes.
I do enjoy a glass of alcohol, I have to admit, okay, every now and then. And what dietitians usually, most of them, the first thing they strike out of your list is alcohol. Like, ابعد عن الكحول ما في مجال للنقاش. If someone really appreciates it, okay, and not let go, what would be alcohol type that you'd recommend that he drinks for weight, at least not to gain a lot of weight, assuming consumption?
Just to give you a justification, most of the dietitians, they would tell you go off alcohol. When we speak about the calories from different foods, we say that 1 gram of carb would give us 4 calories, 1 gram of protein will give us 4, 1 gram of fat will give us 9 calories, 1 gram of ethanol will give us 7 calories, and it's empty calories, and it's going to affect absorption of other nutrients. Honestly, with a lot of my clients, mostly males, and they would confine and say and be comfortable saying, and I was like, okay, احنا بيجي الخميس، طلعت خميس بس هلا انتم قاصصين بالبيت طلعت هاي كلها، بس انه بصفي السوشيال درينكينج اللي بيصير هون باجي بقول لك okay, we need to pay attention to the amount. هلا in moderation it's okay, but a lot of them they don't go in moderation. وهون بصفي انه okay, you can enjoy a beer a day, okay, but it depends برضو على الكحول اللي بدك. يعني a lot of clients where I was able to balance things, that for example if they would like to go with vodka or whiskey or wine, it depends on the type that they like, we would fit it in, and they've really we saw beautiful results. And some of them were athletes, they were preparing for competitions, but we were able to drop the fat and to manage that within their life, eating plan تبعتهم. Because we would translate a recommendation into a plan, an eating plan, And بس هاي البلان it would have some variations. For example, invited to a wedding, engagement, social gathering, and there's going to be drinking. فدايما بنقول مثلا the least amount of calories would be with beer. Okay. بعدين would go مثلا with wine. بعدين would go with the hard alcohol يعني.
Okay. يعني مرة سمعت إنه الجن قالوا لي إنه significantly less calories, but maybe it's a myth. I don't know.
ما هو بس برضه بإيش بنخلط؟ ما هو it depends.
Dana, thank you so much for your efforts, for the great talk.
You're welcome.
Yes, give a beautiful idea. We hopefully, if the recording works, we're going to post it on our Facebook page. I'm going to also try and share it with the McGill Alumni Club back in Montreal. You have glowed. You have made our knowledge grow.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I will have to let everyone go right now.
Yeah. And thank you all for being there. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. شكرا كثير لك.
Thank you so much. Thank you.